EA Sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Broncos and the Silver and Black, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
Opened in 2020 and immediately one of the main attractions here on the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome, everyone, to Allegiant Stadium. Glad you could join us, everyone. Alongside Brock Hewitt up in the booth, I'm Kate Scott. And this contest isn't quite the level matchup that typical good games are born from, partner. One side clearly favored over the other.
Yeah, well, you know where this comes from? A trap game. That's where this comes from. Yep. In any sport, from the NFL to basketball to soccer, playing at home, we know this can be the great equalizer that gives the steepest underdogs a fighting chance, and you can feel it in the building today.
I was going to say, you can already hear this home crowd rallying in support of that upset. Daniel Carlson ready to get us started. And we're off and running in Las Vegas. Here's Tremon Smith with the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
Nix starting with a pass. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Shotgun snap to Nix. And the Raiders get there and take him down. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Might just be a little late to get the ground game going, opening up this game with back-to-back passes. But when you come out of the gate slow and you put yourself behind the sticks, you really don't get into that rhythm you want to find early.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. Nix from the gun. And he's in trouble and gets brought down again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough fourth down.
Well, this is exactly what the defense wants to do to these quarterbacks. You want to speed them up, and the best way to do it is to hit them and bring them to the ground. Conversely, they've got to figure out offensively how to protect. If you can't protect, you can't execute, you can't do anything offensively.
Broncos looking at a punt on fourth down, and Riley Dixon on to handle that. And he gets it away from his end zone. Fair catch is made, a yard or two short of midfield. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They're brought out by someone who's kept the exact energy now as he had when he entered the league back in 2019. It's Gardner Minshew.
Kate, I don't know how many people know the story of Gardner Minshew and how close he was to becoming a GA and coaching. Mike Leach got on the phone with him and said, hey, why don't you take one more swing at this thing? Come out to Pullman, Washington, and lead my pirate ship. And all he did with that mustache was light the college football world on fire. And all he's been in the NFL with multiple organizations is that same spark plug that just makes something happen.
That's taken in nicely by Brock Bowers. And this goes across midfield and into Broncos territory.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Play action. It's Minshew. That one's on the mark. Jacoby Myers. And they're going to be down close to the 35 as he goes out. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching.
And he will take this in. Touchdown! The Raiders don't need long to take a 6-0 lead. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Marvin Mims now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. So the Broncos headed out for their second drive of the game. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening first down as they take the field a second time. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Putting a receiver in motion. Again on 2nd and 10. Nix. He lets a heater go. They connect on the deep shot. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's able to fight this down to the 2. Give him 7 on the play, and now they have 2nd and goal.
Receivers running the ball, well, that's become commonplace in the NFL now, and that includes down here in the red zone. In close, a lot less space to work with. You really love your most elusive players to get their hands on the ball.
Williams. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Broncos reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Javonte Williams, the touchdown! Will Lutz now on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos tie this game 7-7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. It's Amir Abdullah with the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Second drive coming up for the Las Vegas offense. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
I don't know, Kate. I didn't think he had it, but that back did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the 1st down. Pops up right away and signals 1st down.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Minshew on 1st down. Throws off the rip, but it's incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and now it's 2nd down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Minshew working from the gun. This is hauled in by Myers. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Out of the pistol, Minshew. Dive in, and he gets his hands underneath for the catch. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they bring him down at the 25-yard line after surrendering some good yardage. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
You know, that's one you watch the next day, Kate, and you're just bummed. As a QB, you're a perfectionist. And when it's caught but out of bounds, you know it could have been just a little bit more accurate on your end.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Out of the gun, Madison. Juke the defender. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's a play that won't pop on the stat sheet, but the players and coaches won't forget about it. I promise you that. The coaches will file that one away the next time they really need to pick up a few yards.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff. Now Minshew. He'll get it complete to Alexander Madison. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on 1st down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the 1st. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. They send a tight end in motion. Up the middle they go with Madison. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They'll go right back to Madison. And they make a stop at the last minute. It's a gain down to the 1. It's a pickup of 5, and that brings up 2nd and goal.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Madison again. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Raiders break the tie here in the 1st. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Carlson's extra point is good. And the Raiders take the lead here, 14-7 in the 1st. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Broncos offense all set to go. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They send him left out of the slot. Okay, the wide receiver's gonna get it to begin the drive. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
Second and 8. Hauled in left side. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Nix. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he's gonna run for it! They get an even 10 on that play. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Nix looking to throw. That finds Vele complete. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Raiders' side of the field.
As quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Hits him on the out route. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. That's complete. It's Javonte Williams. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Up the gut they go with Williams. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Going to the ground again on 1st. Jukes out a 1-stop. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. And the defender comes away with it. Trayvon Merrick has it.
Red zone defense, it is a part of the practice week at least twice, Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays, because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away. That is a gold star effort by the defense.
The Raiders have their offense back out there. They have played lights out on offense, scored their first 2 times out, Bronc. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Minshew. Caught. Trey Tucker makes the play. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that's good for a Raiders 1st.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
So the big play gets him just beyond midfield. It's 1st down. They give it to Madison. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Pressure coming. It's Minshew. Dumped off to his running back. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
That pass, it did put him in a position where he had to shake a defender. That's all you want. Give me a one-on-one. And he is capable of doing it, but not against that dude. That defender could not be shook, and he knocked him back across the line.
Man in motion, out of the slot. Minshew now on 3rd down. Escapes the pocket. And this one does not go far.
It's one of those situations, not much to be had there no matter what he did with the ball. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win and a confidence builder for this defense.
Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. Denver ready for another offensive possession. And we'll see if they go right back to the passing game here, coming off an interception they threw in enemy territory. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
Second down now, 7 to go. Another run for Williams. And he fought the good fight there just to make it back to the line. Looks like no gain on second down, and that leads us to 3rd and 6.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap to Nix. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Nix with it on first. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Here's Nix to throw. Brought in by Vele. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
Kid, I was on the field with a young high school quarterback just last week, and I told him one of the greatest attributes a quarterback can have is courage. And it takes courage to sit in that pocket that long, let a play develop, and let that receiver work all the way from one side of the field to the other to give him a chance to make a play.
They'll throw again. Nix. That's complete to Vele. And he's going to be at midfield now as he gets out of bounds. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Nix from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. It's the end of the first in this AFC West showdown. Neither side separating much so far. We'll return to Allegiant Stadium right after this. We're back, and it is Broncos football as we resume. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And it sets up 2nd down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Escapes out to the left. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Slot man in motion left. Throwing on first down, Nix. Got a man, it's Marvin Mims. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. So after the 5 yards are marched off, here's 1st and 15. Running it after the penalty. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Nate Hobbs in on that stop. They don't get anything on first, and now they face 2nd and 15.
Absolutely no fear in his game. Even one of the smaller defenders out there, he isn't afraid to go charging into all those linemen and dish out some physical play himself to make that stop.
Caught by the open man. And he gets in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. Well, no doubt about it, Brock. That was a route they worked on in practice, and it manifested in a touchdown when the downs counted here.
And no doubt about it, Kate, you grew up watching and celebrating Jerry Rice running that exact route, didn't you?
Yes, sir. You know it. You know it.
He was so good at it. Every receiver could do it some of the time, but Jerry and the best of them, they do it all the time, just like that one right there.
Extra point try now from Lutz. The point after splits the uprights. And the Broncos tie things up at 14. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Abdullah now to return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. Out comes Las Vegas on offense. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. From the shotgun, Minshew. Completed to his running back. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays on the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Here's Madison. And he'll get it up to the 44. Give him 3 on that gain. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a 1st down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Brandon Jones up for the stop. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Minshew working from the gun. Throwing left side, Bowers has it. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
Small pass, big result. This dude is just a juggernaut with the football, and once he gets rolling, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher to stop him from playing add-on with those yards.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Here's the give to Madison. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, well, it sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
Here comes A.J. Cole back to the field for a punt. The Broncos have Marvin Mims deep to return. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. The Broncos are ready to go, and we'll get a look at receiver Marvin Mims. And after watching their passing attack take him the length of the field last drive, Brock, I expect we're probably going to see a heavy dose of the aerial attack again here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. Looking right, and he finds him. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Second and 3. Throwing the out route complete. And he almost reaches the 45 before going out. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
To throw, here's Nix. Completed over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 48. Complete out to the right side. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Well, they got him down before he could do any more damage in terms of yards. And that's no easy job, mind you, tackling a big tight end. But the main damage had already been done. He kept this drive going by getting beyond the line to gain.
New set of downs for him at the 38. From the gun, a carry by Williams. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Well, half the hay is in the barn when you get 5 on first down, and now they're in such a good spot where you can attack those other 5 yards in any way you want.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Here's Nix. It's taken in by Williams. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. Offense set for a 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Williams. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Marcus Epps making the play. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got him tackled behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Second and 10 now. Hits him on the out route. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Broncos will have a first down.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Nix again on 2nd and 10. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Bend. Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, well, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
Gotta figure out this 3rd down here. Shotgun snap to Nix. Forced out to his... Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. This is a 50-yard look from the right hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And they've taken back the lead.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Abdullah now to return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Minshew. He's on the move. He's keeping it. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a 1st. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for a Raiders 1st.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Catch is made down the right sideline. And they make the stop. We're going to say it about the 37-yard line. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
And the 1st down pass sent away by a defender, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Alex Singleton makes the tackle. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
Minshew now on third down. Bails out of the pocket, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down.
Even from the booth, Kate, I could hear it. I could hear that front seven telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
A.J. Cole on the punt. And he's hoping for a well-placed strike. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. So this one sails over the sideline, and they'll spot it where a touchback would go at the 20-yard line. The Broncos and quarterback Bo Nix gearing up for their next series. And he sure has put on that chef's hat to dice up their defense early in this one. Quite the appetizer that he's prepared to what could be a great overall performance. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Nix off the play action. He gets a lot behind one, deep downfield. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Give to Williams from the gun. He gets it ahead and winds up with about 3. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Nix looking to throw. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
Riley Dixon on the punt. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. His work begins at the 31. And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And it'll be Raider football. Now the Raider offense headed back to the field. And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ending in punts as of late. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Minshew to throw. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
You've heard that very common term in draft vernacular called catching radius. Let me tell you, as a quarterback, you love tight ends on drag routes because that catching radius for such a big target, man, you see him, you eye him, and there's a comfort level between QB and tight end to make that connection.
Up the middle they go with Madison. And he works this to the 38 before going down. They gain 14 on the play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
As a play caller, Kate, I would always be a little cautious of a 1st down draw. I like it better when that defense is anticipating pass. Well, they were only anticipating getting the backfield and making that running back feel the pain.
To the ground with Madison. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That's the kind of run that shows he's trying to take some stress off the passing game to provide big plays. What a great help to that side of an offense when the ground game can deliver chunk plays too.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Here's Minshew. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They'll run. This is Madison. He'll cobble together a yard there. Sent down by Cody Barton. They only get a yard that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Minshew. That's caught for the first. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate, but the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Throwing here, Minshew. Has it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
You put up the combine times of tight ends running a 40-yard dash, and they certainly don't run as fast as the safeties or the corners in this league. But when you get them going in the right direction and you get them dragging across the field like that, well, they could still do their damage.
They go with Madison here. And he gets in. Touchdown! The Raiders get some late points and the lead. So, Brock, good work there to finish off the drive in the end zone and retake the lead.
You just get this feeling every once in a while in games, this sucker's going to be a back-and-forth football game. So what a great job offensively to jump out in front here in the first half of play.
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. Well, we all know there can be so little room for error spotting the football, and that's what's being reviewed right here. Did they get this right?
And I know both sidelines are furiously pleading their cases about what their eyes see. But fortunately, the eye in the sky and the replays will give us a clear answer.
Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Minshew looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop him. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. So now on 4th down, the Raiders elected to send Daniel Carlson out for the field goal. This just 21 yards down the pipe. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that's going to tie us up just before halftime.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here's Smith on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Broncos ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Rolling left, buying some time. And he evades any kind of trouble, but only a short gain to show for it after sliding down.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
A final throw before the break. Escapes the pocket. Took off with it again. We've reached halftime, and it's been an even one so far. We are all tied up at the break. Now we'll toss things to Jonathan Coachman in our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Raiders ready for another drive on offense as Jacoby Myers heads out. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Minshew. Short pass brought in. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
The give now to Madison. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Minshew on 1st down. Marshall there to bring it in. And he's able to get this down to the 36. Give him 24 on that play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
1st down, ball at the 36. Man in motion here. Throwing on 1st is Minshew. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. P.J. Locke getting there for the stop.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
And the Broncos bringing out some extra DBs on this 3rd down. They're in the dime. Minshew working from the gun. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says two things in every production meeting. Number one, well, we got to stop the run. And number two, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing that. Defending a big guy who can move like that, it's a lot easier to talk about than to go out and execute.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. The give now out of the shotgun. And he's able to fight this down to the 2. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
They give it to him again. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Raiders take the lead right away in half number 2. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Carlson to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders break that tie and now lead by 7. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. This return makes it up to the 25. Denver set to take the field on offense. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Second half starts with a run by Williams. And he gets him around 6 there. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
These aren't the plays that will lead highlight reels, but they're the ones that win you ball games. What a nice gain by the back. And now his offense can go in any number of directions on 1st and 10.
Throwing on 1st down, Nix. He's on the move. He's on the move. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Well, I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains, and it's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and get that critical first down.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Up the gut they go with Williams. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is you put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Nix from the gun. Brought in by Vele. And he goes out a little short of the 40. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
Got Williams, and it's complete. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
You know, these running backs today, they are so versatile. It doesn't matter if they're running it, or in this case, same principle applies on routes out of the backfield. You don't get somebody close to him, that throw is headed his way.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Tried to connect, but it winds up incomplete. Looking for the back that time. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. They'll throw again, Nix. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Has this at the 6. Returns looking good so far. They'll bring him down on the return as he gets this to the 33. The Raiders and Alexander Madison ready for another go on offense. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. They'll run here from the gun. This is ahead for about 5. Sent down by Cody Barton. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Running right, it's Madison. And he's brought down for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Now Minshew. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's tackled for a short gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
The Raiders bringing out the punting unit. It'll be A.J. Cole doing the honors. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Big kick on that one, 62 yards. And the Broncos are going to take over with a lot of field ahead of them. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Here's Nix. Throw complete to Williams. It's a pickup of 11. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core. Football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Williams, running right. Breaks the tackle, still going.
I got to really rack my brain, Kate, to remember a play, a run in this league that nice that doesn't end up getting an offensive first down. He did all he could to will this drive forward.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. It looked like they had it, but nope, no gain, and now they're just inches short for 3rd down.
Well, that run puts them right back in the same old situation for 3rd down. I really thought that run was going to get the couple inches they needed. And you could tell, just look at them down there, Kate. They thought it was going to work too.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't, they call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. From the gun, a carry by Williams. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
Here comes the Broncos punting unit. Riley Dixon, the one to kick it away. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Raiders' drive is going to start deep on their own side of the field. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Here's Madison. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. John Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
I've talked to running backs over the years, Kate, in the transition from the college game to the pro game. They'll tell you, there's just times in the NFL you got to run into darkness. You run into a lot of bodies. Perfect example of that on the 1st down play.
And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. He got 5, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
3rd down. Broncos loading up that secondary. They're in the dime here. Out of the gun. They'll give it to him inside. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. That's a pickup of 9. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That's a BYOB. You got to be your own blocker. It would have taken the entire defense piling on to stop him from getting that 1st down. Well done.
First down, and they go right back to him. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. P.J. Locke getting there for the stop. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
It's plays like that, Kate, that I'm happy I'm the color analyst and you and your spotter are doing play-by-play, because that was a massive humanity, a whole bunch of bodies to sort through for 1 yard.
Out of the gun, Minshew. He gets this one to Myers. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Pressure coming, it's Minshew. Throw reeled in by Mayer. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. New set of downs for him from the 46. Up the middle they go with Madison. And this goes across midfield and into Broncos territory. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Here's Madison again. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Sent down by Cody Barton. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5.
Well, no springing a big play on that one. It's just going to simply be used as a setup play, whether that's another run or eventually what I love, setting up a play-action pass off that counter action.
Dumped off to his running back. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's a Vegas first down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. John Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Well, now this defense is in the driver's seat, Kate, right? When you make a stop like that on first down, now it's your discretion of just how aggressive you want to be following that play up.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Got a man, it's Mayer. They'll have him gain about a handful there. Brandon Jones up for the stop.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
3rd and short, here's Minshew. He'll get this one to Madison. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. A handoff for Madison running left. And he doesn't get this one very far, down to only about the 18. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Three quarters in the books from this one. It's the Raiders' ball, a chance at a win if they can hang on to this lead. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll go right back to Madison. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Enough goes to Madison, running right. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, they were hoping to get outside and meet those guys at the second level. Well, someone from the second level came to beat him on his turf. And that meeting didn't go so well.
On comes Daniel Carlson for a pretty important kick. This is a 35-yard look from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
Kate, it's 3 more on the scoreboard, but both sides really know it's all about one possession here in the 4th quarter when it really matters.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here's Smith on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. So here comes the Bronco offense. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Williams to start the drive. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Well, Kate, a 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule, but you're going to have to pick up the pace.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Nix. Caught quickly on the slant. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Give to Williams from the gun. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. They stay on the ground with Williams. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
All I could tell him there was good luck. You get a safety all over a run like that, they could just smell it like a shark with blood in the water. And you feel fortunate if you're even able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Completed to Sutton. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Raiders' side of the field. Third and 4 coming up now. Nix now to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
They're set up at the 35 now. motioning one of the tight ends. Williams now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the first down.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Play action with Nix. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So 2nd down coming up.
That's somebody they're going to look for if he has any space deep. That space, though, Kate, just disappeared between when he let that pass go and when he actually made it down the field.
Nix again on 2nd and 10. And the Raiders get there and take him down. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
How many times we see these coaches after games sit there at the press conference, they pull out the stat sheet, and when they do, they look for some anomalies. And today, well, this head coach is going to be very proud of a defensive effort, getting after the quarterback 6 different times. 6 sacks, and they've had a heyday in the backfield.
The Raiders bringing out a couple extra defensive backs for 3rd down. They're in the dime. Pass taken in by Sutton. And that will not be enough for a 1st down.
I know on the stat sheet, Kate, that shows up as passing yards, but any defensive coordinator will take it. Understanding down and distance and keeping that offense short of the sticks.
Here comes Will Lutz. A lot riding on this field goal try. It's on the right hash for this 39-yarder. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And that brings things a little closer here late.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Fielded at the 7. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Raiders and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his production is carried over into this 2nd half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. They've got 1st down from the 31. Lone back gets the handoff. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
2nd and 13. Has a man, it's Madison. And this one doesn't go far.
Simply part of the job description for any running back in today's game. You're out there, you're going to be one of your quarterback's most important safety valves, and you got to be ready for that check down at all times.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? From the shotgun, Minshew. Complete beyond the marker. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
New set of downs for him from the 46. They go with Madison here. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down. Minshew working from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes him back. Third down coming up.
No one picks him up, and he reminded everyone in the building why that's a major mistake. The linebacker's athleticism on full display. A sack in under 2 seconds? That's a select group of players on the planet who could pull that off.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Fakes the handoff. Now Minshew. He's in trouble, and they bring him down again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down.
Kate, the game wasn't on the line with that series, but don't tell the defense because they brought the urgency and juice like it was. Getting the sack, setting up 4th down, well, it picks everybody up on that sideline, and now their offense gets a chance in a 1-score game.
Las Vegas sends out the punt team, and he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. And he sends this away, definitely his best kick of the game thus far. The Broncos running their offense out once again. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing here, Nix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Nix from the gun. Pressure comes, and he's taken down. The Raiders got him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, I think this defense had enough. This QB has been getting out of the pocket and doing damage with his legs, but not this time. Great pursuit, great effort, and they're able to wrap him up for the sack.
Punt team on the field. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he drives it towards the other end of the field. Escapes a defender. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The home teams are back onto the field, led by Gardner Minshew. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Here's the give to Madison. And he'll get this forward, and he's stopped at the 37. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3. From the gun, a run for Madison. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. This one goes for 3 yards. And that's good for a Raiders 1st.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
1st and 10, Minshew. Flushed out of the pocket. Now here he goes. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. The give now to Madison. And he's going to get this to the 29 before he stopped. They got 2 yards there. That leaves them with 3rd down and 5. Play action, it's Minshew. He rolls to his right. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he's able to take this one down to the 25.
That's just a case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
On comes Daniel Carlson for a pretty important kick. This 42 yards from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
So many of these players on the field, Kate, they just strive for consistency, but not the kickers. They strive for perfection, and so far, he's just that.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here's Smith on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now outruns their offense to take over. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Nick's looking to throw. Quick slant, caught by Sutton. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down. From the gun, a carry by Williams. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 41. Brought in by Vele. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down. Shotgun snap to Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Straight ahead with Williams. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Vegas. Broncos down by 7. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. Looking to throw. And they got there in time. He's taken down. And the defense comes through. 4th down, that much tougher.
every sack, every stop has just been like another nail in the coffin. And now, well, now there's only one spot for a nail left. This is their last chance. And that defense, well, they've got this crew on the edge of the cliff. Now can they go finish when it matters the most?
Offense staying out here. It's 4th and 11. Throwing now. And to force it on 4th, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Divine Diablo. Wow, an aggressive choice to go for it on 4th and that kind of distance, and an equally aggressive play in coverage to pick that pass off.
Yeah, that down and distance, you're not running it, right? Too far to get to the stick, so that defense had all eyes on the quarterback. They knew that pass was coming, and it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to execute it and go take it away. That's a big momentum swing for this defense.
Time for the Raiders offense to hit the field. That defensive stand might have been the final effort needed to seal away the victory, Brock, but can't quite take off the pads just yet. Offense has to finish this one out.
Yeah, a few things here, Kate, to keep in mind, right? You got to slow the game down as a quarterback. Take every second off the clock. If you're handling the ball, you guard it with your life, and you make sure your defense doesn't come on the field again. They just did their job. Now you got to do yours.
They give it to Madison. And he's able to reach that midfield stripe after some solid running. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Up the middle they go with Madison. And in a rarity today, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Third and just 2 to go. Here's Madison again. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. The Raiders nearing a win as he drops to a knee.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
This won't run out the clock just yet, Brock. They're going to have to kneel it again after this one. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
After one final kneel down, partner, and this should do it. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down. The Black Hole can take that party over to the Vegas Strip as the Raiders win at home. And partner, I know you took down plenty of division rivals in your NFL days. Heck, your conference opponents back in Washington in your college days always makes the win a little bit sweeter when it comes against a rival, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's just a little bit more emotion. There just is.
Yeah.
I mean, you try to keep every game level, and no opponent's bigger than the other, but familiarity does breed a little more contempt, and we could feel it today, and that's why that W is a little bit sweeter.
Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders winners as we bid you farewell from Las Vegas.